I start to look around me, boys, and I'm in the fucking trenches. All I see is scary-ass alleyways, graffiti everywhere, run-down-ass apartments. This was the Polar Express from hell, bro. Where the doors open up, and there's like 15 buff-ass black dudes.
What do you mean by that?
Tell me why these guys are throwing gang signs at us and screaming at us. They're yelling at us to come inside the train, and they're saying, welcome to LA County Jail, welcome to LA County Jail, motherfucker, come in the train.
Call destruction, took over model, fuck niggas over, dead homies on back, I'm good, and I'm gonna run it up, dead homies nigga.
In his past, he's blown up like 6 cars, bro. If he had an enemy, he would just go to their crib and blow up their car, bro. The guy who pulled a knife on the other guy, my homie just went to third-party them and just started stabbing him.
I break dance when I get the bag. One time check like Jack Chan, a black belt. Get the sack then.
Public transportation. A place where literally anything can happen. You might get in a fight, you might even meet your wife. Anything can really happen on public transportation, boys, and today we're going to be talking about the worst parts of public transport. Now, I can only speak from my experience, boys, but I live in Los Angeles, so I'm going to be speaking from my experiences using the Los Angeles public transportation, buses, subways, and trains included. Now, first on the list for the worst parts of public transport is the tweakers.
Yeah, you don't have right to judge me a bum, drug addict, or anything, and neither do you, fat man. You better y'all sue you, boy. Drop this bus with me off, you fat boy. You don't never disrespect the Holy Spirit, boy.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
I don't know about a lot of other cities, boys, but Los Angeles, I swear, it has so many damn tweakers, violent schizophrenics that'll fucking throw rocks in the freeway for no reason. And whenever these types of people get on the bus or the subway, or you're just waiting at the bus stop and they're next to you, they just make you anxious as fuck. These guys are so unpredictable, boys. 1 second they'll just be chilling, and the next second they'll be trying to take your head off.
Personally, I wouldn't take this level of disrespect.
I remember one time I was on this like 2-hour bus, right, boys? I was on this 2-hour bus to this completely other city. I was on this bus for a cool minute, boys. And there's this guy who's been sitting next to me the entire time. I'm on one side of the bus, he's on the other side of the bus, but we're still like parallel to each other, right, boys? The whole time he's just chilling on his phone, he's sleeping. Cool, right? We're just chilling. Out of nowhere, bro, I just hear a thump on the seat, and he just turns around, looks at me, and screams in my face, "Why did you hit me?" He looked like he was off that shit, boys. He didn't even look like a tweaker, but his eyes said everything. And sure enough, I look at his hand, and there's a crack pipe in his hand. The rest of the bus ride, the rest of the 30 minutes, he didn't say anything to me. And I swear, I thought when we got to our bus stop, I thought he was just gonna fucking stab me in the neck for no reason. I also remember, boys, one time I was in 7th grade, and I was taking the subway to Santa Monica, or not the subway, the fucking one of those trains. And I was just chilling in one of the seats, and this guy out of nowhere, he just starts screaming as loud as he possibly could for like 10 minutes straight. He just looked at me and just screamed in my face, bro. In 7th grade, me, boys, I was scared as fuck. I just looked at him and looked away, bro. And that's only a few examples of the times where tweakers and the schizophrenic weirdos absolutely tripped out on me.
No drugs.
Alright. Oh my God, $50. Oh my God.
What the fuck?
Oh my.
And yeah, boys, these types of people are the worst types of people on public transit. They're fucking scary, bro. And I'm not talking about homeless people. I'm talking about the tweakers and the schizophrenic fools. And I'm not gonna lie, if you can, do not fight these guys, bro. These guys are like fucking zombies. If their blood gets on you, you're probably gonna die in the next couple weeks. Next on the worst parts of public transportation is the thuggery.
Alright. So what y'all little bitch ass in here for?
I was caught sucking my dad's.
I was sucking my daddy when I was 7 years old. A field of them. How old are you? 12. You know what I owned when I was your age? A Fortune 500 company, and I was whooping my own ass. Can I show you something that means a lot to me? Yeah, everything's so funny until you see what happened to a real in jail. This shit don't mean shit to me, man. Look at me, man.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Now this does depend on where you're at, what area you're in. If you're in a nice part of town, transportation's gonna have regular types of people. But if you're in most parts of LA, boys, you're gonna face some thuggery. And what do I mean by thuggery, boys? I'm talking about thieves. I'm talking about gangbangers.
What do you mean by that?
I'm talking about delinquent fucking kids. You'll just be chilling on the train. You'll just be chilling on the bus, listening to music. You might even be sleeping, which I don't know why you would sleep on public transportation. You'd have to be a special type of person to want to sleep on public transport, bro. But yeah, boys, you might just be chilling on the bus. You might have like a certain color hoodie on or a certain color fucking shirt on. And out of nowhere, there'll be like 10 dudes on you.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
They're asking where you're from. They're throwing all types of signs in your face. And chances are, you're probably gonna get socked out for just being in their vicinity, boys. And while it is true that a lot of banger fools, a lot of them, they're not gonna trip on civilians, right? But I've seen, from personal experience, boys, I've seen a lot of times where they'll trip on anybody, bro. They'll trip on the fucking elote, man. I've told this story on the channel before, but I remember me and all my homies, it was probably like 4 of the homies. We're in like 7th to 8th grade at this point in time. It was like 9 o'clock at night, right? And we're trying to get home from Santa Monica. The thing about going to Santa Monica or going to far areas like that is you have to go all the way through all the hoods from South Central and all those types of places, you feel me? Meaning, you're gonna have to interact with many different types of people. And a lot of them are not very... Let's just say you don't want to sleep with your mouth open around these types of people.
And I went out and did a little, observing it. I looked at him up and down. I said, to you, prison would be like a paradise because they would fuck your brains out.
Me and the homies, we were trying to get home from Santa Monica. It's like 9 p.m. at night. We're little kids. We were on the train, right, boys? We were on the train and we were trying to get to downtown LA to take our bus home. For some reason, I knew this wasn't the right train stop to get off at. We weren't even close to downtown LA. But the homies started getting off the train and they're like, yo, bro, let's get off. So I'm like, all right, they must have a plan, a secret plan I don't know about. Tell me why, boys. We get off this train, us little ass kids. At this point in time, I wasn't really experienced with these types of areas, wasn't really familiar with the terrain, right? Basically, we get off the train. Tell me why, boys. The fucking train stop says like Crenshaw and something. I didn't know much about the area at this point in time, but I just knew Crenshaw is not a place where I wanted to be. I start to look around me, boys, and I'm in the fucking trenches. All I see is scary ass alleyways, graffiti everywhere, rundown ass apartments. Everything was dark, but the only lit up places were like these eerie ass orange lights shining on random parts of the fucking street. It looked like a nightmare, bro, and I was scared for my life. So our next train comes, it takes like 10 minutes. It's crowded, boys. As the train's passing, we see one cart is filled with like bikers. They have like BMXs and shit filled to the brim. Every seat is filled. All the walkways are filled with bikes and bikers, right? So we're like, hell no, we're not gonna go in that. The next cart passes by. It's filled to the brim with tweakers. I don't know what was going on this day, but everybody was on this train. This cart was filled to the brim with tweakers. Everybody was just doing drugs. There was schizophrenics in there. It looked like a mental hospital condensed into a little train cart. This was the Polar Express from hell, bro. We're like, all right, what's the next train cart gonna be? It can't be that bad, right? As the next train cart passes by, the doors open up. This shit was like entering the gulag.
Welcome to the gulag. If you survive, you earn your freedom.
The doors open up and there's like 15 buff ass black dudes.
What do you mean by that?
It's probably in like their fucking late 20s and mid 30s, maybe into their 40s. There's definitely more than 15 in this cart, but there was 15 that were right in front of the door when it opened. Most of them had their shirts off, covered in tattoos, buff as fuck, tall as fuck, full beards, grown ass men, right, boys? Tell me why these guys are throwing gang signs at us and screaming at us. They're yelling at us to come inside the train, and they're saying, welcome to LA County Jail, welcome to LA County Jail, motherfucker, come in the train. They're screaming at us to come in the train and screaming, welcome to LA County Jail.
Bitch on the big dead homies. I'm out. I thought I was gonna stand up. Nigga, that's out. Dead homies. Throw that motherfucker up. Caused destruction. Took over modules. Fuck niggas over. Dead homies on back. On hood. And I'm about to run it up. Dead homies, nigga. Break the internet. Dead homies. Fuck niggas over on 4-0. Prince on the Fig, bitch.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Whilst throwing up gang signs at us. 7th grade me, I was like petrified, bro. We had to make a split-second decision before this train goes off, right? Because a lot of the times these trains just start going. Like, you don't even really get time to step on them sometimes. So when we see that, we're like, oh, hell nah. So we go to the next cart. We do not go in the fucking tweaker cart because that's just an easy way to get stabbed. So we end up running as fast as we could because the trains was about to go, right? We end up running as fast as we could to the other cart where the bikers were at, and we run into the fucking train cart. Turns out these bikers were also gang affiliated. These bikers were all gangbangers who just happened to have bikes. You can tell by their hats and their tattoos and shit. They were like Bloods and shit, right? So we all run in there. We're like 5 deep. And a lot of the bikers, I'm not gonna lie, rightfully so, they got mad at us. They were like, hey, get the fuck off our bikes. Get the fuck off our bikes. For that rest of the train ride, we were just awkwardly standing in the middle of the walkways, trying not to bump into any of these fucking biker fools. That's just one example of the thuggery that goes on the public transport, boys. Another little story time I got for you guys. This one actually isn't from my personal experience. This is a very, very close homie of mine. So this homie of mine, he calls me. He's like out of breath and shit, and he's telling me what just went down. So apparently in downtown LA, he was just trying to get home, right? And this tweaker and this other like Mexican fool, they're like grown men, right? They start like arguing. I guess one of the fools tried to take one of the guy's watch. I don't know exactly what happened, but the tweaker guy, which was sitting down, he pulled out a knife and he was like, get away from me, bro. And then the guy who was arguing with him, he was like, oh, you're gonna pull a knife? You're gonna pull a knife? You're a bitch, bro. I also know a lot about what happened because he also sent me a video of what went down. Yeah, the guy pulled out a knife and then they started running the fade, and for some boys, my homie is a fucking crash out. In his past, he's blown up like 6 cars, bro. If he had an enemy, he would just go to their crib and blow up their car, bro. And these 2 guys just start running the fade, and for some reason, boys, my homie, he just third-partied. And he got his knife and he just started stabbing the fool with the knife, bro. The guy who pulled a knife on the other guy, my homie just went to third-party them and just started stabbing him. Those are just a few examples of the thuggery that can happen on public transportation, boys. But that leads into our next worst part of public transportation, and that's the crowded buses/trains. Not only is it bad when you're in a crowded bus or a crowded train and you're just standing in the walkway, squished against everybody's backs and stomachs. That's already worse enough, boys, but when you're in a bus with tweakers and thugs and it's crowded, boy, that's just a recipe for disaster, bro. It's definitely worse on buses because on buses, it's so hard to keep your balance if you don't know how to stand or if you don't know how to distribute your weight. You'll just be chilling, standing, trying not to bump into anybody. Next thing you know, the bus just stops and you just crash into a fucking random person. And then depending who that person is, they might just start swinging on you. They might stab you. Anything can happen, bro. If it's a tweaker, you're just standing next to a tweaker or a bunch of tweakers. I remember one time I was in Skid Row and we had to get on a bus. We couldn't even stand on the bus stop, boys, because there was so many tweakers and tents. Yeah, we're in Skid Row. We get on the bus. Every single person on the bus is a tweaker, a schizophrenic, dirty ass person. We're on a crowded bus full of zombies. This shit looks like The Walking Dead. This shit looks like the bus from Black Ops 2. I don't even have to say too much on why crowded buses and trains are bad, boys. You guys kind of get the idea, especially after that story of where those fools said, welcome to LA County Jail. You guys already get the idea. Now I'm going to be making a part 2 to this video, boys, but make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I'd appreciate it very much. That's it for today's video. Part 2 will be coming soon. Fuck with the channel, share with your friends and your family, and I'm out. Peace.